What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. The tier lists are back, and today we're gonna have a meme coin tier ranking system for all the top meme coins under my radar. And yes, I'm not gonna include every single meme coin on earth, but I'm gonna try to include some of the most talked about memes in the space right now. What gains we can expect from now until the top of this meme coin super cycle. We don't know if it's gonna happen at the end of this year or if it's gonna happen, next year at some point. It's gonna be a little longer than expected. I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't know when the top is gonna be, but I'm gonna try to explain to you what gains I would expect from this very moment if you were to buy this project right now. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I'm bringing alpha on a daily basis, videos every single day, guys. So if you're not subscribed, you're missing out. And also make sure to follow me on X because there's a bunch of calls that I'm posting there as well. Drop a like and let's get started with the video. Before I say anything, don't take this as any sort of financial advice. Meme coin investing and trading is extremely risky, so make sure to not put more than you can afford to lose in these trades. These for me are actual pennies compared to the overall size and overall balance of my main portfolio. The first project I'm going to talk about today is Pepe. Pepe is probably one of the biggest breakthrough of the last year, and it's been a meme coin that went from zero to billions in market cap after doing absolutely nothing for almost 1 year, when a lot of people were desperate and they started, dumping it. And this is why I think that Pepe is such a success story. Because if you look at the Pepe chart from May last year until February this year, almost 1 year, this project did absolutely nothing. And then overnight, bam. People would call it an overnight success. But at the same time, to become an overnight success like this, people saw this investment do absolutely nothing for almost 1 year. Now, the project is 5 billion in market cap, and it's one of the biggest communities in the meme coin sphere right now, and they've definitely been very successful so far. It's still missing a Coinbase listing, which in my opinion is going to be a big catalyst event because you want to accumulate this project before they list on the tier 1 exchanges. This project is already listed on all the tier 1 exchanges, but not on Coinbase, and because of it, I think it's going to pump sooner than later if this listing takes place. Realistically, 5 billion in market cap right now. Is this going to hit 100 billion in market cap? It's definitely very far-fetched, but I think that a 10x is still possible. Call me crazy, probably anywhere between a 5 to 10x from here, but yeah, a 10x could be realistic, so I'm gonna put it right there. Now, Dog with Hat has been another project that was born out of nowhere and did extremely well. This is another project that is pretty much already listed in the majority of tier 1 exchanges. It could, in my opinion, have another big run-up from here. It's only 2 billion in market cap. I mean, I would say only, but it's still a little over a third of the market cap of Pepe. I think that everyone knows the story of Dog with Hat and how it actually exploded from, end of last year. And it has this big run up, and it hasn't corrected that much compared to the majority of meme coins or altcoins in the market right now. So it's around 50-60% from the top. Can this pump a lot from here? I would want to put it at a 20x category because I think that it's gonna give more multipliers than Pepe from here. Now, a little more of a small cap and degen play. All of these plays are degen, guys, but this is as degen as it gets. Doug the Duck. This, in my opinion, has absolutely the best content that you can find on X. It's absolutely hilarious. Just have a look at the content that they're posting on X. It's super active. They even created a TikTok profile and they have a marketing agency doing a bunch of content. The funniest content on the meme coin space is Doug. Honestly, just look at this dude. Oh my god. It's a project that I've been trading since it was 300k or something like 200k in market cap, so I'm already very much in profit. I pretty much sold everything at the top and then bought back lower, and I kept accumulating. Spoiler alert, I've actually bought Doug in the last couple of days when we went very closer to the 1 million in market cap. So I remain super bullish on this project. I have very strong reasons to believe that this is going to perform extremely well in this meme coin super cycle as soon as the market sentiment changes a bit. Because think about it, all these meme coins, everything is very red right now. So the market is really not interested in any sort of crypto investing right now. Retail is completely out and it's in full bear market sentiment. So as soon as Bitcoin pumps up a little back up, it goes back to all-time high and perhaps it breaks out to 100k, then there are a lot of retail investors, a lot of new people are going to jump into meme coins, and they're also going to look at the new shiny things because meme coins have very little, if not zero, barrier to entry. It's You know, think about how many tokens of Duck the Duck you're gonna hold with $1,000. But at the end of the day, if you look at what percentage of Bitcoin you're gonna hold with $1,000, it's gonna be very minimal. And this is why I think that the new investors are gonna look at projects like this, especially because they have a very big reach in Web2 platforms like TikTok. So Duck the Duck, could it do a moonshot? Yes, absolutely. I even want to say that you can do 100x from here. Call me crazy, I don't give a fuck. Turbo, a project a lot of you guys love. I'm gonna say 20x. I don't want to say that it's gonna do a 50 or 100x because at the end of the day, the market cap of Turbo is still bigger than the small memes. Let's see what it is right now. Okay, 300 million. If this was to do a 20x, it would be even bigger than what Pepe is right now. So it would be around 6 billion. I think it's realistic. And this would put it also very close to the 1 cent mark. Turbo is a very interesting project. If you guys haven't followed this project, it's so interesting because it was generated by AI. So some people are saying that it jumps into the AI sphere, and to some extent it's true because this was created with a budget of $69 with ChatGPT. The founder is doxed and he doesn't hold a significant amount of the supply. The community is super strong. It had a crazy run. It went from 0 to hundreds of millions in market cap. It had a big correction because I think that people have a very short attention span when it comes to meme coin. They're always looking at the new shiny things, and when these projects don't get listed on the tier 1 exchanges and people have to wait for all this big news to come, then they try to maybe cheat their bags and jump into new shinier things. Now, Turbo, it's probably not going to do much for the foreseeable unless it gets some very major bullish news. So if it gets, for instance, a Binance listing or a Coinbase listing, I think that Turbo is going to surpass the all-time high sooner than later. But for until then, I want to be a little conservative. Although 20x from here for a project that is just relatively established right now, that is still has a decent volatility market cap ratio, 34%. I wouldn't say that these are conservative predictions, but anyway, some people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. Now, MAGA, of course, we gotta talk about Trump tokens. I think that this is going to be a relatively straightforward 20x similar. I don't want to say crazy price prediction just because of the fact that the market cap is still quite high right now. It's almost $500 million, so let's be realistic. If this was to hit 8 billion around the presidential elections, especially, you know, if Trump was to be a winner, if it prevails in all the presidential election debates, I think a 20x could be realistic. It could even perhaps be at 50x potential, but I want to play a little bit conservative from here. Punk is such an interesting project. I want to compare it to Duck the Duck, but I think that Duck the Duck is better and much smaller in market cap, so I wouldn't really buy Ponke. Although this was the OG and pioneer of Web2 content when it comes to Instagram Reels and, you know, TikTok's content type of thing. 180 million in market cap. Listen, it's probably gonna do well, but I don't know. Should it be a 10 or a 20x? I'm gonna say a 10x because I think it already pushed a lot from what it could do. But again, I'm sure that a lot of people will disagree on that. Another project that I'm going to put into the 10x category is Brett. Just like Pepe is the mascot of Ethereum, Brett is the mascot of Base. The Base ecosystem is going to be growing faster and faster. A lot of people, you know, all the normies that are going to come to Coinbase, of course, they're going to be drawn into the Base ecosystem. And in my opinion, the Base ecosystem, when it comes to meme coins, is really taking a lot of room away from Solana. And it's growing at a much faster rate than Solana is right now. And for good reason. Brett is already in the billions of market cap. I wouldn't expect a 20 to 50x from here, but a 10x seems quite straightforward. Now, here I'm gonna put a project that a lot of people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Why are you even bringing this up? It's Resistant Doc Rado. It's a project that is 100 million in market cap. The community behind this is actually quite big. It's on Ton, which in my opinion is going to be one of the fastest growing blockchains in this very moment. It's already in the top blockchains right now. It's been exploded. If you think about the explosion of Ton, it just makes sense to include one project, and in my opinion, one of the biggest projects on Ton. If you look at it right now, you know, the volume is not that big, but the more Ton grows, the more meme coins on Ton grow, the more this becomes mainstream. Think about the user base of Telegram is literally in the billions. I see no reasons why this shouldn't be a moonshot, especially with the community being so good and with the fact that this lacks pretty much every centralized exchange that you've ever heard of. I want to say that this can do a 50x. Call me crazy. 50x would be a 5 billion from here. I think it's possible. Let me know if you want me to cover this in one of my YouTube videos because it definitely deserves a video in and of itself. Now, Coq Inu, in Coq we trust. A project I'm not that bullish on. It's probably one of the top meme coins on Avalanche, although I really don't see Avalanche as one of the top meme coins when it comes as one of the top blockchains when it comes to meme coins. When it comes to meme coins, it's 1.90% in volume to market cap ratio. It already had a very big run up, and after that it pretty much fell into the unknown. Volume is really not there. I know that a lot of people really love this project because it's one of the top memes on Avalanche, but I just don't see Avalanche as a good chain when it comes to trading meme coins. So I'm just gonna say 10x, but I'd be lucky even to get that. Bonk, very interesting project. There is probably one of the top meme coins on Solana. The market is really serious. I know that they're doing a lot of in real life marketing and sponsoring events and doing light shows in Dubai. They're really onto something right there. I think that the community is really solid and it's probably one of the top ecosystem and it's probably one of the top beans on Solana and it's going to stay like that. The market cap is quite big already, so I wouldn't expect 100x from here, but a 20x seems quite realistic at this stage. Wow, Tucker deserves a 50x spot because Tucker Carlson, of course, the character that this takes inspiration from, is one of the most famous journalists on earth right now. And with all the coverage in the news and also the US presidential elections and this project being itself in the politified sphere, I think it's going to do extremely well, especially because it's backed by Crypto Banter, one of the biggest YouTubers in the space. There's a lot of things to come. And can we also talk about the fact that Tucker has one of the best content on X and YouTube? They're posting videos every single day on YouTube. I remain extremely bullish on it. Okay, this is a project that I do want to say that it has 100x potential because it's so freaking good. It's Andy on Blast. Why is so freaking good? Because it's the top meme on the Blast ecosystem. The Blast ecosystem, some of you guys could compare it to the Base ecosystem because it's a layer 2 on Ethereum with pretty non-existent costs and speed and super fast, with almost non-existent cost of transaction and super speedy and super fast transactions. Andy is yellow, it's on Blast. I know that a lot of people are also talking about Andy on ETH, whatever, but I really want to focus on the one on Blast. It's an emerging ecosystem. They're also going to release their own token. So Andy on Blast could do 100x. It's a few millions in market cap right now. It's not super small in market cap, but given that Blast, in my opinion, is going to be one of the fastest growing ecosystem and definitely one of the top layer 2s for Ethereum, I think that this is definitely possible. The next token is Trump Mania. I don't want to say 100x because I think it's a bit too moonboyish at this stage, especially given the big correction that it has had. But a 50x seems reasonable, especially because Trump is going to be all over in the news with the presidential elections coming just around the corner. I think that we're going to see a very big run-up coming sooner than later. We're probably going to surpass the previous all-time high, and if we surpass that and maybe 100 million threshold, the sky is going to be the limit. I think the realistic is going to sit towards the 300 to 500 million in market cap by the presidential elections or by early next year, because we don't really know when this meme coin super cycle is going to end. But I remain super bullish on it, especially if we get to centralized exchange listings sooner than later. That this project is probably going to explode. The next project is going to be Maneki. Maneki is another very good project. It seems to have a very die-hard community. If I'm not mistaken, it listed on Bybit just the other day, or maybe they just announced it. I don't see it right here. But anyways, a lot of people were thinking and speculating that the project was listing right here, and then it had quite a bit of a correction, around 50% from the top. So at 85 million in market cap, it remains at a quite good buying zone, especially with the very good community that I have behind them right now. So I think that it's not out of the question to just put it at 50x from here. And the last coin of today is Doge, one of the OG meme coins of the space. I know that a lot of people still love Dogecoin, but I don't think it's gonna do much more than 10x. It all depends on Elon Musk. So look at it like that. Would you buy a project that is just depending on the actions on one single person to just go to the moon or do absolutely nothing at all? As much as I would like to think Doge is one of the OG means of the space, and it would represent a lot for the space for this project to do extremely well, I don't think that people are going to look into it because people are going to prefer the next big things. They are very shiny and they can actually generate you millions if you know when to enter and when to exit. And to this point, I do recommend you guys to join my private community because this is the place in which millionaires will be minted. You're going to get all of my trading signals and a variety of other benefits. All of it is listed on my website. First link down in the description and also the QR code that you see above my head. You might have a once in a lifetime opportunity to create generational wealth and make millions in this Bitcoin super cycle, so don't mess it up. I hope to see you there and help you out with your crypto investing journey, and until then, take care for now.